different kinds of trucking. Okay, now you become a truck driver. You've done your year clean. You're now what's considered by the industry to be a experienced driver. You're ready to move on from that starter job up to something, make a little more money, a little more of what you want to do. You have lots of choices. I just covered these broadly. I'll do it in broad 3 categories, and then I'll give you the subcategories. Maybe give you a little better idea what you're in for. A little information that may help you make your choice. I've either driven all these kinds of different trucks, or I've got good friends that do, and I know a good bit about them. Generally, if I don't know, I'll tell you I don't know. Let's start with category number 1, and category number 1 is box. Generally, there's 2 different kinds of boxes. You either pull a dry van, or you pull a reefer. Boxes are considered kind of the bottom of the heap. It's really the easiest kind of driving. I mean, generally, you get on a dry van company, you don't have to do much but get out and swing the doors. Sweep the trailer out every once in a while and maybe secure some freight. It's also probably the lowest paying of the bunch. But, you get on with your company hauling dry vans. You get on with a dry van company that you may not do nothing but drop and hook. You may get a regional gig or a dedicated gig where you go to the same places every week. You know your route, you know what days you're going to be working. And maybe you just like easy. There ain't nothing wrong with that. Second category of boxes is reefers. That's what I pull, or refrigerated freight. Kind of the same as box, pretty easy. The only additional responsibility you have is you're responsible to run that reefer and make sure it's set at the right temperature, whether it needs to be on continuous or cycles, or make sure it keeps fuel in it. Every once in a while you'll have to get it washed out, because if you haul fresh chicken and then you go to pick up produce, they don't want that chicken smell in there, so you got to go get it washed out or deodorized. But other than that, it's kind of like box. Maybe pays just a little bit more than dry van. The downfalls of reefers, you're going to get stuck at a lot of chicken plants or meat plants, grocery warehouses, freezers. You're going to do some waiting. So I'd say it'd be imperative that if you do decide to haul refrigerated, you make sure the company you work for takes care of you on things like detention and layover and stuff like that. Not a lot of them do. Or just be ready for it, that you're going to be doing some sitting. The advantage of reefer freight, I don't care how bad the economy is. I don't care if we're in a depression or recession. The economy's booming. Freight's slow, freight's fast. People's got to eat. And you will stay more steady on your freight than virtually any other kind of freight. Next category I go to would be flatbeds. Subcategory of flatbeds, you know, a flatbed, you know, a deck, or you could do heavy haul oversize. Now, generally, to get into heavy haul oversize, you're gonna have some more experience. You're probably gonna have to start in like flatbed, or start hauling flat deck or step deck. Get some experience with that, then move on to oversize heavy haul. And the reason behind that is there's a lot more to that oversize and heavy haul. You got a lot more rules you got to follow. Some of this heavy haul, you get into the real big stuff. You've got to get a permit in every state you go through. They all have different rules. Some of them you got to have police escorts. Some you don't. There's only certain roads you can go on. The trip planning is very critical. Most states you can't run, but daylight to dark. But it pays real well. Real well. Just regular flatbed. If you type feller or lady, you into your physical fitness, you want to stay in good shape, you're worried you're going to be out on the road, you can't get to a gym, so you don't know how you're going to stay in shape, go drive flatbed. You'll stay in shape. Strapping loads, tarping loads, continuously tightening loads, climbing all over freight, you will stay in shape. The only problem with that is, even on them days you don't want to go to the gym, hey, you still got to get out there and tarp that load or strap that load, whether the wind's blowing 50 mile an hour or it's raining sheets or in a complete whiteout. You got to take care of it. And generally you get it, it'll pay better than box. The big con to flatbed, and I kind of love flatbed and step deck together. They're kind of the same area, you just hauling different kinds of freight. Is when the economy slows down, like right now we got a lumber shortage, or the steel industry's in trouble, or like I say, the economy slows down, we go into a recession, your freight stops. If the home building goes in a slump or something like that, generally your freight slows down. It's inconsistent. And then when the economy's booming, well, you just run it. You can't slow down. You're constantly running. And like I say, if you want to be physically fit, you don't want to get lethargic like a lot of truck drivers, pull a flatbed. They'll take care of that for you. And generally when you haul a flatbed, whenever you get where you're going, they're waiting on that freight, so you usually have a lot of waiting around pulling flatbeds. And the third category is tankers. Several different kind of tankers. You got your gasoline tankers, what you see at the gas station all the time. You got chemical tankers. They haul like a barrel style tank, little skinny tank that hauls all kinds of nasty stuff you don't want on you. You got food grade tankers which look a lot like a chemical tanker. It's a barrel tanker. You'll notice them because they got food grade written all over them. They usually have a big box on the back of them where all their valves and stuff are sealed up, so they can ensure that everything's sanitary. haul, you know, like vegetable oil, bulk products that go in food. You got dry bulk tankers. They're the ones that look like kind of like upside down with the cones on the bottom. They pull dry stuff like flour, sugar, salt. Then they get into like cement and lime and just all kinds of. You can haul all kinds. If it's powdered, it goes in those tankers. That's most tankers, even food grade, believe it or not, but especially the chemical gas tanker, you're gonna have hazmat. A hazmat can't help you with food grade because they haul some things that are actually food grade but are considered hazmat because it's such bulk. It's considered that way. Dry bulk, very little that's hazmat. Hazmat's a whole another level of hassle. A lot of these companies don't want to pay you to have it. You don't make no extra hauling hazmat loads. Some do, but not very many. And you're instantly, you put those placards on the side of your trucks, you're a DOT magnet. They love to give inspections to hazmat loads because there's a whole nother ticket book they can open up. If you don't have all your I's dotted, T's crossed. Think long and hard before you pull hazmat. Make sure you're going to get paid for it. Because it is a whole lot more hassle. Pros to tankers is a lot of times you don't have to worry about low bridges. Most of them trucks are like 11 foot tall. You usually get paid for all your time. If you go to a customer and you got an 8 o'clock appointment, you show up at 7:30 and they ain't got no room in their tanks, and you got to sit there for 12 hours. So they make room in their tanks, you'll get paid for it. You'll get paid an hourly rate to sit there. God forbid you got to sit over there days. Most companies have a setup where they pay you for 14 hours a day and you got to give them back 10, and they all have a system, and you do get paid. And I've known some guys that actually get paid better sitting than they do driving. Downfalls, every time you pull something, you gotta go get that tank washed out. That's a hassle. Like I already covered the hazmat thing with food grade. You know, there's different levels of hassle in that. Of course, everything's gotta be sanitary. Everything's gotta be in order. You can't have any broken seals or anything like that. You gotta have all your paperwork in order. You know, the food might be kosher, or it might be halal, or whatever. It's you got to have all your paperwork in order for that. But tankers usually they pay a little better than even flatbeds. A lot of tankers, you might need more than 1 year. But you can there's companies out there where you can get into it with a year experience, and they'll train you how to do everything with the tanker, their policies, their stuff. You'll be dealing with a lot of valves and pumps, and it's not quite physically demanding as dropping flatbed. But it's definitely more physical driving a box. You gotta get there, you gotta climb on that beat on the sides of the tank with a hammer to make everything unload. We're toting around hoses and valves and pumps and whatever. So there's it's a little more physically demanding. I mean, you won't completely be lethargic. And there's 100 other little specialties in trucking. You can haul cars. You can haul glass. You can haul. There's guys haul plastic pipe. People haul golf carts. All that stuff's kind of little niche industries that you kind of got to fall into. And most of them pay pretty good. But I hope this helps you and give you a little more information. If you got any questions, drop them down there in the comments. I'd appreciate it if y'all like and subscribe. Y'all take care, and I'll catch you on the flip side.